So why are we going to talk about hangers tonight? Well, that's because a lot of YouTube beauty channels spend endless hours talking about fashion, but very few of them ever talk about hangers and what they can do to clothes. Well, we're going to talk about this in this particular video. Alright, there are several types of hangers. You have your wire ones, your plastic ones, your padded ones, and your wood ones. Okay? Now here's the thing. What's the difference between them? Well, with a wire hanger, you're talking about metal. Metal that can rust. Metal that can fall apart. It's very flimsy. Okay? And metal that also has sharp edges. You get one of those metal hangers to fall apart, you got sharp edges everywhere. So the sharp edges can cut into your clothes. You could end up with the garment falling off on a regular basis because of the wire hanger. And on top of that, if that wasn't bad enough, you could end up with a wire hanger that rusts. Now, if your fabric is a low denier, it absorbs that rust. And it's very difficult, if not impossible, to get that rust out of your clothes. There you go. Those are good reasons not to necessarily use wire hangers. Okay? Now, what about plastic hangers? Well, certainly they're not going to rust. And unless they break, you're not going to have to deal with sharp edges. But many plastic hangers are flimsy. Okay? If you try to hang coats like this on a flimsy plastic hanger, that flimsy plastic hanger is going to break. Then you don't have a hanger anymore. Now, there are sturdier plastic hangers on the marketplace, but they are more expensive and harder to find. And nobody ever tells you where you're supposed to find these things. So there you go. Now, what about padded hangers? Well, this would be for fabrics of low denier. Okay, and I talked about this in a previous video. Alright, so if you have an article of clothing with a low denier, you will want to use a padded hanger because it will help retain the shape of the garment, and on top of that, it won't damage the garment either. Lingerie is an excellent example of this. If you own lots of lingerie, and a lot of women do, you want that on padded hangers. Now, what about wood hangers? Wood hangers are much sturdier, and they are specifically designed to hold up coats like that. So, if you're really wanting a hanger to hold up a coat like that, what you need is a wood hanger. And find one that's a really sturdy wood hanger, because they have different types of wood too. Okay? If you don't believe me, just take a look. You got your cedar, you got your mahogany, you got your oak. There's all kinds of woods, and they can make hangers out of just about any kind of wood you want. But I tell you what, you got to look for the stronger stuff, because wood can also break under pressure. So you got to find a wooden hanger that's pretty strong. And yes, wood can be strong, and it can also be weak. So something to definitely look into. Find out which kind of wood would be the best type of wood to support a garment of that kind. And believe me, that coat is about 50 to 60 pounds. So you definitely want a wooden hanger that's going to support 50 to 60 pounds. See what I mean? Alright. So hopefully you got an education about hangers. I will tell you more in a future video, so stay tuned.